Today at Let's Talk Marketplace, we talked about
how and if to sell on Temu as a European brand or retailer. Valentin Hauß from the marketplace agency ComCreate is one of the first Temu integrators in Europe and gives us his insights on the first 3 months of cooperation with the platform.
And in the news, we say goodbye to a promising European marketplace for sports.
Have fun listening.
Let's Talk Marketplace.
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lammer and Valerie Dichtel.
Hello and welcome back. Let's Talk Marketplace again. It's great to have you with us today, as you will be joining us for an extra spicy topic, I think. We'll be talking about selling on Temu. So, how it works and how retailers get connected to the new platform, and if Temu's harsh pricing policy even allows for a profitable business for European sellers. Yeah, really happy we're doing this today, Valerie. It's a good time for it, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. After all, you and me, we will leave tomorrow for the e-commerce Berlin Expo, where we have lots of industry conversations, updates with our partners, events, and it's really good to get an update beforehand because then we can spread our new knowledge.
Yeah, and I'm sure Temu will dominate these conversations as it has done in the last half year. So it's good that we bring fresh input to the conversation, I think. Right. On Thursday, when this one comes out, I'll already be back home, but you will still be in Berlin, rocking the stage again. What will you be talking about?
Yeah, indeed. I will be on stage in English and I will present our country quadrants. And this time I will be alone on stage. Last time we did this presentation together. And as I already told you, I will go on the train tomorrow. I will ask you what you have spoken about and what you remember, because you did the most part of it. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's what train rides are for, I think.
I guess so too.
Go to an event and then you can do all the last minute updates on that. You will do great. That's fine.
Yeah, I hope so. And we have a guest today, right?
Yes, we do. With us is Valentin Hauß, founder and CEO of the German marketplace agency ComCreate, and one of the first agencies to connect customers to the Temu marketplace in last fall, which is why I invited him. And he will tell us more about what he learned about Temu since then. So, welcome, Valentin. It's great to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good morning.
Hi, nice to meet you, Valentin. Always great to get to know someone in person. And actually, we realized we will meet us tomorrow in person at our Marketplace Universe Connect event. But our dear listeners don't have I would say most of them won't have the same chance tomorrow. So I would say let's quickly introduce you. Valentin, who are you and what do you do at ComCreate?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm Valentin, CEO and founder of ComCreate, as you already said, Ingrid. We are a tech agency helping brands and sellers implement multi-channel strategies with Plenty One as a software solution. And a main part of our business is developing connections for marketplaces that don't have built-in connection for Plenty. And that is also how we started to work with Temu. I think last September, a big brand approached us and required an integration for Temu and Plenty One. So we developed a flexible solution that also other Plenty sellers can benefit from. And since then, I have been in contact with many sellers, but also in contact with Temu directly. And I learned a lot from their challenges and goals, and I'm quite happy to share today some of my insights.
Sounds quite interesting. And I'm looking forward to a more in-depth conversation later. What do you do best in the marketplace business, Valentin? So what's your background?
I'd say we are really focusing on the integration. So like I said, we are tech-based and we developed a lot of integration for marketplaces and Plenty One. So when it comes to, you need an integration, a technical connection for a marketplace that doesn't have a connection for Plenty right now. We do that. We did that for over 100 marketplaces. First of all, it's the connection, like I said, but also uploading the products and scaling on the marketplace. That's what we do as well. So I would say really tech-based. We love everything that has to do with technical setup and improving, the technical connection and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wow. And now finally a fun fact about you, Valentin.
I haven't really thought about that, to be honest. Maybe a funny thing about myself, I have a quiet office dog, which is not here currently, but is really cute. And her name is Heidi. So that's my small companion.
Very nice.
Sounds really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad she's not with you. Because what often happens on this podcast is that one of my cats is kind of going through, the camera or meowing live or something. So it would have been quite nice to get to meet your dog as well. But maybe next time.
Yes. Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, that's the reason why I didn't bring her today. So,
yeah, it's always a risk, I know. Which why this is one of the reasons that I have to close the door before doing the podcast. Right. Anyway, thanks for the quick introduction and nice to get to know you a bit more in detail. And I'm ready to dive deeper into Temu now. But first, let's do a very quick newsflash and have a look at our partner Bol.
Bol has established itself as a local hero in the Netherlands and Belgium and has become the market leader in the region thanks to a clear focus on customer satisfaction and innovation. As a generalist marketplace, it offers more than 42 million products in 28 categories and access to more than 13 million customers.
This also makes Bol attractive for retailers from neighboring countries. Bol supports them with personal assistance, like direct support and customized solutions for new retailers, as well as local know-how about regional customer needs. For logistics, retailers can use logistics via Bol, a fulfillment service that enables super-fast deliveries within the Netherlands and Belgium. Bol also provides retailers with return management and retail media offers.
There's also a special bonus for you. Until February 28th, retailers receive a 50% discount on the commission for creating a Bol account when they sign up through one of the integrators, Channel Engine, Rhythm, TradeByte, or Channable. In addition, partners receive a 50% discount on variable commissions until June 30th, 2025.
And if you want to know more about Bol, maybe tune in to our last episode 97. And there we talked to Alex Churapchu, Director International Business and Integrators at Bol, about selling on Bol, on how selling on Bol actually works. That was a quite deep dive, so check it out. Okay, so that's that. And then I guess let's have a quick look at what happened last week. Was some interesting stuff going on in the marketplace world.
Newsflash.
The most interesting thing, I would say, happened in the US because Amazon is, again, experimenting, and this time with a beta that redirects search queries to brands' web shops outside of the Amazon app. So if customers are looking for a product that Amazon itself does not sell, then they will be redirected to those outside websites. It seems to be connected with this Buy with Prime initiative that they have started last year sometime, where brands can integrate Prime shipping options and payment through Amazon directly into their own web shop. So now this seems to be the next step. Interesting, isn't it? I mean, is that something that we can expect, that Amazon is, spreading out outside its own borders, so to say, into other shops? What do you think about that, Valentin? Have you been following that?
Not really, to be honest, but it's actually really interesting, and I think it's becoming more like a search engine, if that is the case then. And I'm wondering actually if they also will link to Temu.
Yeah. I think not, actually.
Probably not. Probably.
Guess what?
I don't think so, but interesting. Anyway, Valerie, any thoughts about this?
Well, it sounds more like you have also claimed it already, right? That's connected to the Prime products who are already in your own online shop live. Maybe you already have an Amazon checkout. So that's a longer arm, let's keep it like that, for selling products and satisfying the customer. And this is what Amazon always did, right? They want to have the most customer-centric company in the world. And that's just an add-on. I don't know.
I still don't really know what to think about that, but let's see. It still has not happened that Buy with Prime came to Europe, even though that was something that we have discussed, I think, nearly 8-9 months ago, but it has not happened yet. So it still seems to be something that they're trying out there. Yeah. What else do I have? Again, Amazon. They opened their first brick-and-mortar pharmacy and beauty store in Milan, in Italy, located right in the city center. And they offer, I would not say high-end products, but premium brands like Eucerin and Vichy and Bionique, Aven and stuff like that. So another brick-and-mortar store. This is something that I still don't get. Why is Amazon going into the brick and mortar, or always trying to open brick and mortar stores? Any thoughts from you?
It's not always that they open, right? I mean, they're also closing in the US, their brick and mortar stores. But on the other hand, this is now a different style, right? This is pharmacy and beauty. And for pharmacy, you need, especially in Europe, different allowances to open it. And I think that's the first trial. And if that works, I could think about like spreading it. I mean, there's a lot of like competition also around the pharmacy business in Europe, in Germany. So yeah, maybe the next thing to jump on. Let's see how this one will go, what they learn from it. And if it's successful, then I'm pretty sure they will expand it. Or close it. Let's see.
Yeah, this is. I'm always looking at this things that, because they have been doing that in the past as well. You know, opening brick and mortar stores, trying out different things, and it sort of feels that Amazon can't really let their fingers go of brick and mortar, but they have not found the right concept that works for them yet. So this seems to be another approach. Okay. Talking about brick and mortar, another marketplace, in this case MediaMarkt Saturn, is also trying to combine brick and mortar and offline and online business, and offline and marketplace business. They call it the space as a service concept. It's already in place for wholesale partners, and now so that wholesale partners can book a space inside one of the over 700 stores that MediaMarkt Saturn has in all over Europe, where they can present their products. And now this space is also open for marketplace retail partners. And this concept is about to be broadened. At the moment, it's available in 360 stores, and this number is about to double in this year. So seems to be something that is working out quite well. And interestingly enough, this is something that I heard retailers often ask about. So can we,
super
as a
interesting
marketplace
for
partner,
retailers,
place our products in the stores? What is so interesting about that?
Because you get a different reach, and you get in the stores, and still the belief of most of the brands is like, sometimes, okay, I enter the marketplace business and then I go to the stores, or like expand there. And this is like the first little door opener to get into the stores, because if those areas are successful, then the MediaMarkt Saturn maybe also open them the door for their wholesale business, which is like, I mean, you said it, 700 stores. There's a huge additional potential despite of the marketplace business.
Valentin, what do you think about these kind of omni-channel ideas?
Yeah, I experienced something similar with another brand. They did that with El Corte Inglés in Spain.
Okay.
And they started with a marketplace business, so purely online. But it was also like the gate door to the local market, to the local stores. And I think they only access the online business, to get to the brick and mortar store in Spain, and to gain more brand awareness and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say it can be definitely a vehicle to get into the local stores, and it's a nice starting point. Because obviously it's very easy to place your products online, and then you can see if it's working. And also the marketplace will see, okay, the brand is working quite good online, so we want to have you also in our local stores.
I heard something similar like this working for Decathlon as well. So that seems to be an interesting approach there. Testing a brand out online before you take it actually into your precious brick and mortar space.
Yeah, I think with Douglas as well, they're doing that as well.
Interesting. Right. I guess I'll leave it at that for the moment. And
what is with your exclusive news?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I forgot about that one because it was like on the next page. But you're absolutely right. The French sports marketplace, Colisée, has closed down. The shop is still online as of now, but all products are listed out of stock, can't be purchased anymore. And just today I found a statement by the founder who said that they had to close it down because so many brands have been giving them a lot of trouble regarding retailers listing their products on the platform. And finally they could not find more financing for the platform because they couldn't, push it forwards. Yeah.
Too bad.
Another marketplace down.
Yeah, and another promising.
Yes, another promising.
It was really promising. Was mainly just sports, but also in the more premium area. So I thought I could go Decathlon, and then it's like Colisée one up there, and they really had a good funding, but it didn't work out in the end. And I could also assume that Decathlon is a really huge competitor with a lot of financial power, a lot of visibility, and they are really going strong. So too bad. And I really need to adjust many other marketplace quadrants of us again.
Yes. Again. Yeah. And I think that brings us back to the brick and mortar power of Decathlon as well, because the sports brands are difficult to deal with when it comes to marketplace selling. But as Decathlon is that huge retail brand with these huge amount of stores or overall Europe, I guess they have a better position for these kinds of negotiations than just an online player like Colisée had, possibly.
No.
Yeah, I was sad to see them go, actually. I thought it would have been an interesting marketplace. Right. Okay, but these were really my last news. So now let's talk more in depth about Temu after a very short second break. We wanted to quickly invite you to our upcoming webinar. If you're selling on marketplaces, you've probably asked yourself already, how will shoppers buy in 2025? Where does the journey begin, the shopping journey? What factors influence the decisions? And did you know that 47% of shoppers now start their product search directly on marketplace all over Europe, completely bypassing search engines? So that's something to think about.
Yeah, we are tackling these exact questions in our upcoming webinar, How Marketplace Shoppers Buy in 2025, Key Insights. Together with Channel Engine, we will dive into the latest trends from the Marketplace Shopping Behavior Report 2025 and share actionable strategies to help brands and retailers stay competitive in the evolving marketplace landscape.
If you want to understand these shifts and leverage them for your own success, then join us on March 6th at 4 p.m. CT. Valerie will co-host together with Judith Steins from Channel Engine, and they will break down the key trends, provide insights into category-specific behaviors, and share practical strategies to help you thrive on marketplaces in 2025.
So register now, it's free, and you will find the registration links in the show notes or on our website through the webinars. So we're looking forward to seeing you there.
Okay, I hope you will join us there. And now let's go back to the topic at hand and talk in depth about how to sell on Temu and if you even should do that, actually.
Topic of the week.
Okay, so Valentin, over to you. Maybe first give us a bit of background. You said before you have connected several customers to Temu already since last September. Maybe can give us a bit more insights on that. How many customers have you connected to Temu? About what kind of products are we talking here? So a bit more insights in what you actually do with Temu in your day-to-day business.
Sure. So right now, I think we have integrated like 3 or 4 sellers, and we are about to integrate, I think, 5 or 10 in the near future. because right now, the Temu marketplace is still in the beginning phase, and there are a lot of question marks here and there. So I have 2 appointments today later on regarding Temu. One is directly with Temu to clarify some questions. Another one is with one potential customer that want to start selling on Temu. But I feel there is definitely a lot of interest selling on Temu. I receive almost every day new requests from sellers that are interested in our connections and that want to sell on Temu. And I had several get-to-know meetings with Temu and potential brands that want to or thinking at least about selling on Temu. So, yeah.
Okay.
What is the main goal for those sellers to sell on Temu? So why do they want to sell there?
Yeah, I would say the main goal obviously is growth and, finding a new revenue stream. But I would also say that they are cautious to miss out the next big thing, so to say. But at the same time, of course, they are cautious because of the very negative image with the low pricing, products on Temu. And at the same time, Temu told us in the last 2 meetings that they are really committed to change this image, and they don't want to be another Wish. They really want to move away from this cheap pricing platform, purely at least. We'll see what happens with that in the next months or next time. But yeah, that's what they want to do.
You said earlier that this whole Temu topic for you started when one of your customers approached you and said, I would like to connect to Temu, and then you got to work on that. So how did that work out for you? Did you just approach Temu directly? How did you get the connection here?
Yeah, they connected us with Temu directly, so Temu was involved and supporting us with the integration. But yeah, to be honest, in the beginning, it was really challenging, to get someone from Temu that is responsible and capable of answering our technical and logical questions, so to say, because the pricing is really special. We will talk about probably later on. So in the beginning, it was really challenging. But then I was quite lucky. One day on LinkedIn, I noticed that someone located in Germany started working for Temu as a business development manager. And yeah, I reached out to that person, and since then it has been really great, to be honest. At least the collaboration, they're really, committed to answer all our questions. They're really responsive. We set up a WhatsApp channel where I can place all my questions. They are quickly answered, and they are really, helpful when we have any challenges, I have to say. Yeah, and also I connected some brands with Temu directly, and Temu was really fast when answering questions, and was happy to have set up a meeting to answer questions, whatever it is. So yeah, the collaboration is quite good right now.
Interesting. Shows how much they are interested in getting connections to local sellers and retailers here.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do I need as a seller to go online on Temu? So do I need to own logistics? How is it about integration? What is like a good product for it? Let's keep it like that. Do I need a brand approval? How does that work, Valentin?
Yeah. Maybe to add something on that shows how much they are interested in gaining more sellers. From what I know, they offered a lot of sellers no commission fee for a certain period of time, to give certain incentives. Coming back to your questions, I'm not really sure what are the requirements in terms of logistics and products and stuff like that. But honestly, from what I feel is they are really happy for every seller, more or less. They're really interested in every seller. We are supporting right now one seller that has only one product currently and selling it on Temu quite successfully. But I don't know about certain requirements selling on Temu. Also, when we are talking about the integrations, they don't require any integration with your ERP system. Whatever, you can do it how you want. do the product upload manually and take care about the price adjustments manually and so on. So I'm not aware that there are any requirements.
Also
Maybe
sounds like a big chaos somehow, right? So it's like, oh, we take everyone's, like, I don't care what you bring. And I know it's like, seems so, chaotic or needy in terms of like, we take everyone. Like, I'm really happy that you come. So how do you see that one?
I have to say there is some chaos with some questions regarding the pricing and how to handle the product upload and so on. But at the same time, I cannot confirm that they accept every seller. They are at least interested. That's what I observed, but I cannot say that they actually accept every seller.
Well, then let's turn the tables, because obviously Temu is very interested in getting you on board, because this is a new platform and they're trying really hard to be attractive at the moment. But I have to ask again, this commission-less time, is that still valid, or has pricing now changed from summer?
I cannot say. So I just know that one brand told me that they have had this, no commission fee for a certain period of time. I don't remember anymore for how long that was. I think it was only the last year, to be honest, but not really sure.
Okay, yeah, we'll check
So
that out.
and it's actually, I think it's not really the commission, because that's maybe also something we should talk about in more detail, about the pricing system and about the business model, how Temu works.
Yeah. Well, let's go with that then. So what is the pricing system like? How does that work?
Yeah, maybe we start off with how the business model works. So I would say that Temu is following the classical dropshipping model as we can see it, for example, with Douglas or El Corte Inglés. So just a quick explanation. What does that mean? It means that if you work together with a dropshipping platform as a seller, you provide the product data, you take care about the logistics. And I would say one of the most important facts is that end consumers that buy anything from the platform generally don't notice that they buy from a brand or seller. They think they are selling directly from the platform. So this is how I would describe the dropshipping model. But for Temu, it's working a bit different, because they are also following this dropshipping model, but they let the consumers know that the product or the order is fulfilled by the brand directly. So legally, that's at least what I know. I told you before, there's some chaos going on and some questions here and there. But from what I know right now is that legally Temu sell the product to the end consumer and buys it in the moment when the product is sold. But they let the end consumers know that the order is fulfilled by the brand or seller directly.
Okay.
And talking about the pricing, Temu was working with two different prices. One is the base price. That is basically the purchase price that Temu will pay for the product to the seller. And the other is the retail price. That is the price the end consumer will pay for the product. And obviously Temu wants to make profit, so they ensure that the retail price is above the base price. But having said that, what we noticed that it might be also the case, at least in the midterm, that the retail price will be below the base price. So for the seller, they, technically they don't care, because they will receive eventually the base price from Temu. And Temu does that, obviously, to gain, new users and increase awareness and stuff like that. But at the same time, of course, it is a certain risk that, it entails some sort of price collapse and price wars for brands, and brands are really cautious, with that, just making sure that they will not destroy their pricing strategy.
Yeah, I mean, if if you have like a retail price, which is also your recommended retail price overall on retail, and then you have like a marketplace, which is sometimes selling below your base price, I mean, that's really, really risky, right? So you can just do this with like, I would say like no-name brands, your own D2C products or products which you don't sell anywhere else. Otherwise, it's really also a huge risk to destroy your brand and reputation, I would say. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. And I've observed, several strategies, so to say, from brands they are applying, to cope with this problem. The first strategy is not really a strategy at all, because some just selling all of their products on Temu and are happy whenever they receive a price above base price. But I've seen also strategy exactly, to avoid this price problems you mentioned, Valerie. So the first strategy was that brands started to have a distinctive product portfolio, exclusively for Temu. Or even one brand established a new brand for Temu.
Yeah,
so it was like having.
I can understand this. Yeah,
this outlet brand.
Yeah,
that is purely for Temu, in order to avoid that you have this direct connection with your main brand and.
Still just coming back to pricing again, because recently I read from, I think, a different agency who is also working with Temu in another European country. And they said that the base price that you offer Temu for your products has to be at least 15% below the price that Amazon accepts. I don't know if this is something that you also experienced, but if it's true, that is quite a huge difference, and so your prices do have to be very competitive for Temu to even consider you. Is that something that you can confirm?
More or less. I know that there was a logic that, like you explained before, but I know also that there is a lot of changes going on right now, because obviously they got also legal pressure. I know that before also they had like a price recommendation sort of, and if it was not below a certain amount, then your products was not published. Something like that. I was not so much involved into that, but that's what I noticed about that. And I think they changed that recently. Last week I had a talk with Temu, and I know that they told me there's an important changement regarding this price recommendation, and now brands should be more free to select their own prices.
Interesting. Because after all, I mean, price is the distinctive factor for Temu, and the factor with which they are attacking Amazon in Europe. So they will have to keep being competitive there, but still, as you say, this is the question is, how far will European brands and retailers be willing to go, how far down with their prices, and how far can they go until regulation kicks in. So interesting how this is going to turn out in the future. If you look at your customers so far and at the products that they are selling on Temu, what is your overall conclusion? Are most of them happy? What kind of products work really well on Temu, which don't? So what is your first conclusion after 3 to 4 months?
That's a good question. So, like I said before, it's still in the beginning phase, so I don't have any conclusion right now. But what I definitely see is that there is a rising interest selling on Temu, and I also noticed that some of our sellers already have quite good revenue on Temu. One of our seller has just one product I mentioned before, and he already generated like over 600 orders. So there's definitely a lot of traffic. Obviously, we know that on Temu. The big question here is it worth it? So, and this is something I'm not so deeply involved, so I cannot say it's a good price they receive from Temu, but I believe they are only selling products that are worth selling. So yeah, they have a good amount of orders for sure, and I can say that I feel there is more interest for products from the category home and garden. I mean, I don't have these huge numbers, like I said, like 10, 20 sellers or so. But yeah, home and garden is interested. What else? I think fashion also here and there. But I cannot make these great conclusions yet.
And do you have like an average of like where you say like, okay, we speak more about price entry products, mid-size pricing, like premium products? What kind of like products are we talking about here?
Yeah, I would say definitely low price or mid price. So I haven't been approached by a luxurious brand that want to start selling on Temu. But in fact, one brand approached us. I would say that's more, like premium. And they just want to use Temu for overstock, or they're thinking about at least, using Temu purely for overstocks or B-goods. Yeah, they're considering it right now.
Interesting. Yeah.
What brands could think about that, Valerie, from your perspective? If Valentin is now saying that fashion is actually a category that works quite well on Temu, which I find surprising because I thought fashion in the low price segment is something that Shein is booked on. But so this is interesting. So what kind of scenario can you think of that might be good for a brand or a retailer in fashion to consider Temu?
To be very honest, I would also say it's depending on the kind of products. I mean, there's also Shein, right, for fashion. I would rather go there than to Temu if I'm a fashion brand. I don't know, maybe for basic products or overstocks. I'm really like for fashion, it's like also depending on return rates there. So it's really hard to say. If I say something now, it's completely like, I don't like to say like it's depending on because I have to pay an hour depending on pick. Really difficult. I would say also for hard goods or like maybe home and living, DIY garden, like Valentin said. I could also imagine Temu as a better case. For example, I have like my plastic tupper box from Temu, or a Pilates ball or something like these kind of things. Where also I would say what's also important to see that these are also the products I would say people seeing to buy at Temu, not like premium luxury. I don't know. It's like it's still like the how you think about Temu or what you suggest or like combine with Temu. I would say that's my personal opinion, right? So.
Valentin, as you can hear, there's a lot of, Valerie is struggling to find an answer here for a good scenario on why you should even consider selling on Temu. But as you said, there's lots of traffic there, of course. There's lots of turnover to be made. So how would you answer that question? What is the right scenario in which to consider selling on Temu?
Yeah, I'm not in a position, to be honest, right now to recommend someone selling on Temu or not. I wouldn't put myself in that position. But I think also, just coming back to the categories that could work on Temu, at the end of the day, you have to think about competition also, that you need to compete with Chinese manufacturers, really cheap products. And maybe a reason could be also that products from home and living could work because they are big and bulky, and you have to ship them to the products. And maybe another interesting fact for Temu is that they have this local to local program. I think that's dedicated to answer this logistic problem, and also they are trying to get rid of this bad reputation or bad image.
Yeah, and working to avoid possible tariff problems that the EU is working on at the moment. So, local to local might be the solution to many problems that could come with regulation in the coming years, I think.
I would also say if you think about sustainability, then it's also on a different angle again, right? So if you think about I'm maybe a D2C brand, I do a different brand just to ship more products to Temu. How sustainable is this in the end if I have to make lower prices? And I don't know. And as a brand, it's really a different story again. So being really aware about your pricing and your reputation in the outside. I think for a well-known brand, it's not a good time yet. Let's keep it I'm always happy to change my mind if things are changing. But right now, as a well-known brand, I would not start selling at Temu. That's my personal opinion again.
What about retailers? Valentin, what do you think? Is it a good time now for retailers to start, or to at least check the platform out?
I don't think so, to be honest. I think important is that when you thinking about starting selling on Temu, that the main factor to differentiate yourself from other sellers is actually brand. And it's definitely a strategic decision to sell on Temu. And I agree sort of with Valerie to be cautious selling your brand on Temu, and don't, start right now selling all your products. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend that at all. But at least I would say that you can have a chance as a strong brand on Temu. That's also what I feel, what customers or potential sellers think, and what I've been told, because they say you cannot compete with products, functional products. Let's put it that way. You have to have a good brand. So yeah, I don't think that you have a chance for just retail products. A chance could be only for a brand, but at the same time you need to be cautious with your pricing implications.
Yeah. Right. I guess looking at the time, I would close the discussion for now, and I say thank you very much, Valentin, for your insights on, the ongoing process and how to deal with Temu. And I'd be quite interesting to hear from your insights in half a year or something, to find out how your position might have changed after that, and after more customers connected to the platform. But for now, thank you very much for joining us and talking so openly about your insights over the last month on this.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. It was great being here. It was fun.
Right.
Thank you, Valentin.
Right. Next week, you can tune in again to our 100th episode. Ooh. Can you believe it, Valerie? 100 episodes of Let's Talk Marketplace.
Crazy.
Yeah. Cool.
Almost 3 years, huh?
Almost 3 years. Yeah, quite incredible, I think. I think we should take this opportunity to look a bit back on nearly 3 years of podcasting together.
Yeah, I think so. About the last 3 years, about the coming 3 years.
Yes.
And I'm really excited to go with you, especially after this week, because we're coming back from Berlin. Yeah. Next week, and I think we also get some new input and lots of talks with all our listeners and clients and partners and marketplaces. So I'm quite excited for the coming episode.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And if I may post a question to you, dear listeners, let us know in the comments which episode was your most favorite. What did you like us talking about most over the last time? I would be very interested to know that. Anyway, so thank you very much. And thank you for joining us today. And we'd be honored if you listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever, and follow us.
On YouTube.
Comment on YouTube, of course, since this year. And thanks for your continuous support. Bye-bye.
You listen to Let's Talk Marketplace.
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.